Weirdos, weirdos, how are you doing? I've had a request from Daphne Divine. Daphne Divine, pain in the ass. To be fair, she asked this months ago. It was in an email, and the email was, can you look at these 3 clips from Ghost Theory? And there's a top 5 I'd like you to look at. I decided to do the top 5. Wasn't what Daphne wanted. And in the meantime, Daphne has left timestamps for other things on investigations that I've been a part of. So I thought I'll just condense it all down into one little video. Because it's Daphne Divine's birthday today, which is the 18th on recording. This will probably go out on the 19th. Daphne, I'm sorry. But happy birthday to you. So this video is going to have 3 little clips from a Ghost Theory live stream. And a couple of clips from me and Steve in the house on Mould Hill. That's what I'm calling it. I've seen other teams go in there, leaving windows open on the outside, showing how to get in there. Please stop doing that, because kids are going to watch your videos and kids are going to get in there and trash it. It's already in a bad enough state. When you are going out and investigating places like this, abandoned places, try to keep the name quiet. When ghost hunters name houses, Murder House, The House That Bleeds, the Three Sisters, whatever you want to call it, half of the reason they name those houses such or thusly is to stop gangs of youths going in there, smashing the place up, setting fire to it, vandalising it. It's to stop antisocial behaviour, etc. Because the more of these places that are discovered, and the more of these places people know they can get into, and the more of these places that are damaged, the more they up security, the more there'll be a police presence, and the more local residents will get pissed at ghost hunters for causing it. So if you are one of those channels that's been to this house very recently and used the full house name and showed how you get in, don't do it. Please don't do it. Because whoever is in charge of this building or is looking after this building, because there was stuff in there when you went that wasn't when me and Steve went, so somebody's doing work in there. They are going to see how you got in, and now you have taken that away from everyone that wants to visit there. Or nobody's looking after it and a bunch of kids have just seen how to get in there and they've trashed the place. I'm trying not to sound like a dick, but I've given up vaping. No nicotine. I'm struggling. Woo, I'm struggling. But yeah, keep these buildings, locations somewhat quiet, just so we can preserve it for other investigators, other decent people, before the inevitable dregs of society go in there, draw bus stop cocks all over the place. Daphne sends me a lot of timestamps for my own investigations, for the Ouija Brothers investigations, for Ghost Theory, and I can't always get around to them. Unfortunately, a lot of the time I don't want to get around to them because I don't want to tell people, hey, you're asking me to check out this real ghost evidence that the channel has missed, and it is audio pareidolia or visual pareidolia. But Daphne, I think she's been in the channel long enough now where she knows what I'm like. She knows that I have to say what I have to say. So on account it's a birthday, we're going to do some of these clips. So this is on Ghost Theory, and this is Live in the Sinister School. A 15-second clip starting from the 1900-minute mark. Okay, show something walking past the frosted blocks at the end of the hallway. You'll first see movement at 9 seconds in. Is that a face zooming by? 2 or 3 cubes down from the top. It's what I see when I freeze the frame at a particular time. I'm going to be made to work for this today. Right, slow down the playback just so we can 100% be sure before I say it's pareidolia. Now, 9 seconds. There's a face somewhere in there. I'm not seeing it. I'm not even seeing the pareidolia. Could that be it? If you mean that there, the frame before, it shows a square. It's the light of Joe reflecting because he stood behind Elliot. And this break here is Elliot's arm. That's a reflection of a square light with Elliot's arm across it. I can't see a face anywhere else if pareidolia. Right, next. So the second clip is live at the Sinister School. Again, this 14-second clip starts at 36:20 on Ghost Theory's original video. Showcases a shadow running down the staircase. The first sight is 6 seconds into this clip. That sounds promising, right? Right. I've got to mute it, because when I put stuff in slow motion, it sounds terrible. It's 6 seconds. Is that what he said? Right, 6 seconds in, something runs down the stairs. Not at 6 seconds. The stairs are to his right. It's not anything running down the stairs. That is a shadow of this banister. And as his torch passes it, it moves the shadow downwards towards the stairs. In real time, that's going to look like something running down the stairs quickly, corner of the eye. But it's reflection of the banister. It's even got that cross piece there. Sorry, Daphne. This is not going that well. Not that what you've asked for, it's just I'm not saying that what you've asked for isn't going well. What I'm saying is this is what I was afraid of, that I could explain where everything is. And the reason I think, or the reason I was more confident with saying I can explain where everything is when Paranormal Investigation channel goes out, these shadows, etc., will catch the corner of their eye in editing, and then they'll have debunked it in their head while editing and going, there's no point me explaining that, because it's clearly that beam or that banister rail, because I could see the crossbar. Live at the Sinister School again. The first following clip starts at 35-minute mark in Ghost Theory's video. Starts right when they enter this room. If you watch the video, you can hear them talking smack about a demon, how they go in to fake it for their audience. I find this extremely crazy and talk about ironic. I see a lot of shadow play in this 1-minute clip. There's a lot throughout this whole video actually, but what really gets me is the faces in the door window as Joe walks out. It even pushes the door on Joe. He notices, looks behind the door before walking out. This is the one. Right, we'll watch the clip in its full first, and we'll see what we can see. I just turned into Mr. Grey again, bollocks.
Ah, that's the blinds. Yeah. That's the room with the blinds and the pigeons. So, there we go. Those blinds are making a noise, but they weren't making noises last time.
That we know of.
Yeah.
We're saying it was less windy before. And that does actually kind of sound like, I don't want to be like, oh, it wasn't anything paranormal whatsoever. But like, if we don't find the truth, then it's becomes pointless in a way.
It's tapping there.
We can't walk around saying everything's this and that, but...
Well, we can do.
Well, that's what I mean, like, as in paranormal.
No, we should do. We can make loads of money that way.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck!
I'm possessed!
Did you hear that?
Ow, I've just been scratched by the demon.
What? Oh my god, show me.
Can't.
Oh my god.
It's in a very private place.
Oh no.
Okay, so I've muted the video after the first playthrough. I've just described all of that stuff under the window, and that's not what Daphne was asking for. That's not what she saw. It's in this door. Okay, so no faces there. And then this is the bit I've already looked at. Okay, this is where Daphne's saying there are faces in the glass behind him. And again, right, I am going to slow-mo it, just so I can be sure. Right, first thing worth noting, this door is covered in mould, therefore the glass is going to have mould and ickies all over it. And when you see about the door pulling back on him and he looks through there to see if something pushed it, nothing pushed it. Right above his head there. These are fire escape. These are fire doors. They're meant to pull closed. You can tell it's a fire door because even without the stickers on it, it'll alert you to such. The glass on them is the glass with the wire inside them to stop the glass shattering under heat. There you go. There's a door pulling system up above his head. Oh, there's a door behind him there as well. That's artifacting. Is that what you meant? That section there? Oh, look, because you say he pushes the door on him. Right, that there, that's just artifacting. That is too dark and too far away for the camera to focus properly, and it's mixing the shadow and light up, and there's a shadow of the door being cast, but it's so far away from the lens. In poor lighting, the lens doesn't know what it's doing. For a split second, almost looked like a face just under that. And then I realised it's the reflection of his neck going into his beard, and it looked like hair and a face. I'm not seeing... Okay, that's a kind of a cool effect. Right. I see. It does look like a semi-translucent something was peeking there and peeking back and then walked forward and a little bit of back. Unfortunately, what that is Elliot's torch shining through the other side of the door against that wall, causing a light reflection to bounce back onto this glass from this side. His reflection this side of the glass is also moving. You see? Both torches are all over the place. His reflection, the light reflection from the room, from the torch behind on the wall, it's just artifacting and some weird effect because of the glass. I mean, did you see that? The wire is almost... You can't even see the wire at this point because of the reflection. There's no wire in that window in this frame. Purely because of the amount of light bouncing around. That door frame there is this door frame. You can't even see Joe because it's... This reflection is looking behind him. I can see why you've looked at that the way you have, but it's... There you go, and then a little change of the torchlight, and suddenly the mirror is back to being translucent, transparent, and the wires are back. I'm afraid it's all visual pareidolia. Like when you look up to a cloud and you see a cloud, and your mate goes, "Look at that stripper." What? A cloud looks like a stripper. And you look again, you're like, "No, I'm not seeing that." And then they say, "There's the head, there's the back arch, there's the leg, there's the spender belt," and you're like, "Ah!" And then you can't unsee it. And even as the cloud morphs, you're still looking at it like, that is a stripper. Now, I did go off on a little tangent there about clouds, but that was genuinely based on a conversation that me and my brother-in-law had. We were at a bike rally and he's like, "It looks like a stripper in the sky." I was like, "What? Where?" And then he explained what he was seeing, and then I could see it, and the more me and him were laughing about it, the more people looking up going, "Oh yeah, it was a cloud." It wasn't the spirit of a stripper. Maybe it was. Ooh.
Ah, that's the blinds. Yeah. That's the room with the blinds and the pigeons. So...
Daphne, I don't know what I'm looking at there. This is obviously a little while ago. It's a live stream as well, so the quality their end is going to be a fraction of what he usually is because of encoding, uploading, the signal and all the rest of it. You can clearly see there's a pigeon tail moving there. As they walk in, say this is the room with the blinds and the pigeons, which means they're aware there's more movement in here than that one bird. I mean, you could see with the peeling wallpaper under the window, there's a face in there. There's a Joker's face in there under the third window. Side on, there's the Joker. Also, Daphne has commented on the investigation I did with the Ouija brothers and left timestamps. I did a quick scroll. I don't see any timestamps at all. Kind of surprising, to be honest. I don't timestamp a lot of what other people see in these videos because I'm aware of it being audio and visual pareidolia. There are other people that have commented on this video that there is a female following me around in the video and she knows the name and the age of the female. I don't work that way. I'm not psychic at all. Am I open-minded? Yes. As for psychic abilities on the most part, I don't know. And I am very, very skeptical of psychic abilities across a digital format into a video. I don't understand how somebody can gain a spirit's name, data. I mean, if somebody wants to explain to me how they can get that information and how it works across the internet, I'm all ears. I'm not trying to shit on anyone's beliefs, and I'm not trying to shit on anyone's thought process, but people come here for my honesty, and I can't get my head around psychic links to digital media. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you're right. Right, let's have a look. Daphne, right, I hear what sounds like a disembodied voice opposed to an EVP at 6:40. It says either some are dumb or some are dump. Okay, so 6 minutes 40 seconds, there's an EVP or disembodied voice.
To see that man involved on the wall. It's not that dumb. I mean, how long's it been abandoned?
What you're hearing there is me swinging my camera wildly and it rocking on my... I'll show you. My camera is very sturdy on there, but it's got a handle that I'm going to cut off. And this on the top, if that has got any sort of play in it, it doesn't now because I've screwed it on. But when I was editing this video, I was aware that this thing was making noise. So I've done some work to it to make sure I don't get noise coming out of it. This I'm either going to cut off or tape down. But this is responsible for some of the audio pareidolia you're hearing in these videos. And that's probably what that was either the square light I had next to this shifting, because as I swing the camera, you hear, to me with my headset, and when I was editing, it just sounds like a bump as Steve is talking. Because of compression, when you upload to YouTube, the bump as Steve is talking then almost sounds like Steve's voice being mimicked afterwards. It's just a compression issue. A compression issue from uploading, from recording, from editing. The more you tamper with the video, and when I say tamper, I mean you record on one thing, you download it from there to your computer, from your computer to your editing software, from your editing software up to YouTube. And every time you move it one of those places, you lose a little bit of compression. And then when you upload to YouTube, your 4K video, by the time it gets up there, unless you've got an amazing machine, an amazing camera equipment, you end up with this artifacty, glitchy mess that my entire video looked like. Steve and Griffs don't look like that because they've got a better PC, they've got better cameras, better equipment. It could even be down to certain leads you use to plug in and all the rest of it. It is an absolute ball ache, but I'm not a professional paranormal investigator. I love paranormal investigating, and I've recently started recording the investigations. But it's fun for me, and if I manage to capture something, great. But I can't get my videos to the quality of some of these other channels because they've been doing it longer, they have much better equipment, because they've got more money to put into it. Right. That's the 640 disembodied voice. It's just my light bouncing or this camera strap bouncing. As Steve says, When you say some are dumb, it's Steve saying something about damp. But because of my camera strap or the light hitting, it's temporarily louder than Steve's voice and it cuts his voice. That's why it sounds like summer dump. You can hear this even better on Steve's audio. I noted this yesterday, still crickets. Daphne, all the respect in the world, my channel is busy and I can't keep up with every comment. Now, the Ouija Brothers channel, if you look at their subscriber count and their viewer count, their channel is astronomically bigger than mine. They can't go through every single comment. I'm really struggling to get through comments on my videos of a channel my size. Added to that, I'll guarantee you they will have had a lot of time codes or time stamps put into their comments throughout the years, and every time they look, it's stuff like I've just looked at today. And it gets to a point then where it's, oh, if I look at that, it's just going to be pareidolia, audio or visual pareidolia. I mean, to me, the best evidence I ever captured was some demonic growling in this house, and it turns out I might have mumbled under my breath and don't remember doing it. Now, from my thought process, I knew, or I had an idea it wasn't paranormal. Part of me was like, it could be paranormal. As soon as Mr. Gray explained, the lapel picked it up louder and more of the word because it's attached to me, the microphone less because I'm holding the camera out in front of me. That explains it to me. Clearly that noise came from me. I'm not aware that I mutter. I'm not aware that I death metal grunt to myself. But clearly I did. Right, 441.
It's haunted just because it's abandoned. The looks sinister.
That looks like someone on Silent Hill. That noise at 441, that gasp, is Steve laughing. We're in the middle of a conversation and you hear him laugh. That looks like someone. That looks, and you hear Steve go, and then laugh. Silent Hill. It's just Steve breathing in. It might even be me breathing in. Let me have another look. That looks like someone. That noise is Steve breathing in. Silent Hill. And then laughing. Now, what people forget when you're paranormal investigating is you go into these buildings, your adrenaline is high because you're not supposed to be there. Your breathing becomes heavier than it normally does. It's fight or flight. Also, Steve is wearing a mask in this building because of exactly what is on this wall here. Mold, spores, disgust. And a mask while you're just walking around doing your general activities doesn't seem to restrict your breathing at all. But some people, especially people on the spectrums, the autistic spectrums, it restricts their breathing to a point that they notice it. You add adrenaline and being in a building you're not supposed to be in, and then suddenly one of those masks make it a little bit harder to breathe and you find yourself gasping for air more or sucking in air harder than normal. These microphones are so sensitive. I mean, my camera, that's the microphone there. I don't have an external microphone. I can't plug one in. That picked up that little grumble, and that's just picked up Steve behind me inhaling. That. Incredible. Daphne, you've asked me to look at quite a few things, and in quite a few things I have debunked them. And you've been like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm assuming the same thing will happen here. If not, if this is not what you want, if this is not what you were wanting, I'm sorry. But I have to be honest. You have to understand the amount of time I spend watching paranormal stuff, the amount of debunks that I have to do, and that I'm constantly learning about faking, about pareidolia. I learn from Mr. Gray, I learn from The Shape, I learn from Purple, I learned from Cole, I learned then the real investigating side from people like the Ouija Brothers and the others that I reel off. But for me, everything in that video that you looked at is quite easily explainable to me. In saying that, even though I'm quite new to debunking and editing to this level, I've got a background in editing because I've had a YouTube channel for 5 years. I've been live streaming, so I understand that. When I say I've recently been doing paranormal investigations, I mean recently recording them. On and off, I've been doing them for years. We just never recorded it. I had a group of friends long before I was married, and we used to go out and do it for a laugh. Now I just record it for a laugh. I tried to make it look a bit more professional, but with my dog shit camera. Anyway, Daphne, happy birthday. The reason I avoided recording this video for so long is audio and visual pareidolia, and that's everything in this video can be put down to. Now, I am not saying that your belief system is wrong. I'm not that disrespectful. I'm not that rude. I'm just saying that in all of these cases that I have looked at, and a few others I've seen, not that you've time-stamped, people timestamp my stuff all the time. Look, you need to look at this, and it is audio, visual pareidolia, artifacting, whatever. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And I've just got this horrible feeling Daphne's going to get pissed off at me because she's been waiting ages. I've looked and debunked it all as just poor camera quality, especially coming from a live stream. Any live stream where you're seeing shadows and faces, it's got to be pareidolia for the most part. I'm not saying that every video ever uploaded live is pareidolia. There may be a nugget out there, but I can't trust a live stream. You know, sort of a solid shadow running past someone, just little movements in the background and stuff, and shadows throughout. It is pareidolia from artifacting. And live streaming, instantly 50% of your quality is gone as soon as you press live. By the time it uploads and it compresses and it goes through its filters for you to get it, what, 3 seconds later? The video is trash compared to what it was quality-wise. I do apologise. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Much love, Bido. Out.